Hello, and welcome back to the Open Page. In a previous episode, we explored the fascinating idea of flower therapy and discussed how flowers contribute to emotional well-being through their beauty, fragrance, symbolism, and presence in literature. We saw how flowers can comfort, heal, inspire, hope, and reconnect us with nature. Today, we continue that journey, but this time, we move from flowers to something larger, older, and perhaps even more enduring: trees. If flowers remind us of beauty and renewal, trees remind us of strength, patience, resilience, and continuity. Today's episode is about tree therapy, the healing relationship between human beings and trees, a relationship that stretches back thousands of years and remains deeply relevant in our modern world. Let me begin with a simple question. When was the last time you sat beneath a tree, not rushed past one, not glanced at one through a window, but truly sat beneath a tree, feeling its shade, watching its leaves move in the wind, listening to birds hidden among its branches, and allowing yourself a few moments of stillness? For many of us, the answer may be not recently, and perhaps that is exactly why we need this conversation. Tree therapy refers to the practice of improving emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being through contact with trees and forest environments. It can involve walking through forests, spending time in parks, touching tree barks, meditating beneath a tree, or simply sitting quietly in a green space. At first glance, this may seem like a modern wellness trend, but in reality, it is one of humanity's oldest forms of healing. Long before psychologists and environmental scientists began studying nature's effects on the human mind, people recognized trees as sources of wisdom, shelter, healing, and spiritual power. Today, however, tree therapy has acquired new significance. Modern life often keeps us indoors. Many of us spend our days surrounded by screens, artificial lighting, traffic, deadlines, and constant digital stimulation. While technology has connected us in many ways, it has also distanced us from the natural world. As a result, stress, anxiety, mental fatigue, and emotional exhaustion have become increasingly common experiences. And so, many people are returning to nature in search of balance. They're joining hiking groups, visiting parks, exploring forests, and seeking moments of quiet reflection among trees. One of the most influential modern expressions of this practice comes from Japan. In the 1980s, Japan introduced the concept of shinin-yoku, often translated as forest bathing. Forest bathing does not involve water. Instead, it means immersing yourself in the atmosphere of the forest, walking slowly, breathing deeply, observing carefully, listening attentively, allowing the forest to engage all your senses. What began as a response to stress and overwork has now become a global movement, inspiring wellness programs, ecological tourism, and scientific research around the world. Interestingly, modern science increasingly confirms what ancient cultures intuitively understood. Studies suggest that spending time among trees can reduce stress, improve mood, lower blood pressures, strengthen concentration, and promote emotional well-being. Hospitals with views of green landscapes often report more positive recovery experiences. Children who spend time in natural environments frequently demonstrate improved attention and emotional balance. When we walk among trees, our bodies slow down, our breathing deepens, our minds become less cluttered, and we begin to reconnect with ourselves. Yet perhaps the most remarkable thing about tree therapy is how deeply it is rooted in human history. Across civilization, trees have been regarded as sacred and life-giving. In South Asia, the banyan, neem, and peepal trees have long been associated with healing, wisdom, and longevity. The Bodhi tree occupies a central space in world history because it was beneath such a tree that Gautama Buddha is believed to have attained enlightenment. Think of that for a moment. One of humanity's greatest spiritual awakenings occurred beneath a tree. In ancient Europe, oak groves were sacred spaces where Celtic Druids gathered for rituals and contemplation. In Greek mythology, trees were linked to divine powers and natural spirits. The olive tree symbolized peace. The laurel represented victory in artistic inspiration. In many African and indigenous cultures, trees served as communal meeting places and symbols of ancestral memory. Across cultures and continents, trees were not merely part of landscape, they were part of human life itself. Religious traditions reflect this reverence as well. The Bible presents the tree of life as a central symbol of creation and renewal. The Quran frequently mentions trees as signs of divine creation, nourishment, shade, and paradise. Their roots reach into the earth while their branches stretch towards the sky. For this reason, trees have often symbolized connection between the physical and spiritual worlds, between humanity and nature. Literature too recognizes the healing presence of trees. In The Secret Garden, nature becomes the force of emotional recovery for children burdened by grief and loneliness. William Wordsworth repeatedly celebrates forests and woodland landscapes as source of peace and moral insight. Rabindranath Tagore writes of trees as companions to human civilization and symbols of freedom and beauty. And in The Giving Tree, the tree becomes a symbol of generosity and selfless giving. South Asian literature is equally rich in tree imagery. The village banyan, the mango orchard, the shaded courtyard tree, these are not simply landscape features. They are keepers of memory, witnesses to generations of human experience. They stand silently through celebrations and sorrows, departures and homecomings. They become part of personal and collective identity. As we conclude, it's important to remember that tree therapy is not simply about personal wellness, it's also about responsibility. If trees help us heal, then we must help protect them. Seeking comfort beneath trees while remaining indifferent to deforestation creates a contradiction. True healing requires reciprocity. Planting trees, protecting forests, supporting green spaces, and recognizing that human well-being is inseparable from environmental well-being. In our previous episode on flower therapy, we learned that flowers remind us of beauty, hope, and renewal. Today, we have seen that trees teach us patience, resilience, rootedness, and endurance. Together, flowers and trees offer an important lesson. Nature is not separate from human life. It is one of our oldest teachers and one of our greatest healers. Before I leave you today, I want to share one final thought. We often think that healing requires something extraordinary, a major life change, a perfect solution, or a dramatic breakthrough. Nature teaches us something different. A flower does not bloom overnight. A tree does not become strong in a single season. Both grow quietly, patiently, and steadily. And perhaps human being works the same way, and human healing works the same way. The flower reminds us to remain open to beauty, hope, and renewal. The tree reminds us to stay rooted during difficult times, to bend without breaking, and to continue growing even when growth is slow. Together, they teach us one of life's most important lessons. Healing is not about becoming someone new. It's about returning to what is most alive within us. So the next time you see a flower blooming beside a road or stand beneath the shade of an old tree, don't walk past too quickly. Pause for a moment. Look carefully. Nature may be offering you a lesson that no book, no screen, and no technology can provide. A flower will remind you to bloom. A tree will remind you to endure. and both will remind you that growth is still possible no matter what season of life you are living through. Until next time, keep reading, keep reflecting, and keep turning the pages of literature.